Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And you can share with a friend if you enjoy it, and subscribe so you're notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show. This week on Today's Homeowner, we're taking the cooking outdoors as we transform a plain patio to an outdoor kitchen.
It seemed like a hard job, but when I started working on it, it really wasn't that hard at all.
Ashley and Autumn Zellner live in this new home with their 3 daughters, Ruby, Rose, and Molly.
We've lived here for about 2 years. We got to build our house, and it was fun to get to pick everything out and start with the colors that we like.
You know, we looked at neighborhoods, we looked at older construction, a little bit older houses, and just didn't find anything that had what we wanted.
I do a lot of the cooking out of necessity, but Ashley enjoys cooking, and so we always wanted him to have a space where he could do some cooking outside.
Definitely needs more counter space out there. Having the sink out there, being able to wash a dish that I need to put cooked food back on.
We get a lot of rain in this area, and then of course the wind is an issue. So I think one of the things that I'm concerned about is just making sure that things will hold up to the weather, since this is going to be an outdoor kitchen.
Well, you know, all homeowners have a different way of using their outdoor space here. You guys have been here a couple years. I think you probably have it figured out how you would really like to develop this spot. Tell me about it.
We like coming out here to grill when the weather's nice, even eat outside sometimes.
Yeah.
Be nice to have the sink area put in. You know, we put in the plumbing when we built the house.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. As soon as I walked out, I saw a shower there. Even hot and cold water, right?
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have in the shower. We like to take the paddle boards down to the bay, get the girls hosed off before they track all the sand inside.
No, that's a good idea. What about surfaces here? You've got this wood deck area here. Would you think of concrete in there?
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
We prefer the concrete, not to have to make the step up.
Yeah, also thinking about extending over into this area. You know, the grass doesn't grow too well in this corner, and it's kind of a pain to have to move the chairs every time we do mow the little bit of grass that does grow.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, while you're pouring a little bit, might as well pour the rest of it, and then of course being able to match up the brick roll lock around there, we can tie it into, you know, even though the concrete will be a little bit different in color, it won't take long before that catches up. I'll tell you what, I can already think of several ideas, because you've already solved the biggest problem that we have when we're dealing with outdoor kitchens, and that's the sink. Let's get a few measurements, and then we can talk about it over the next couple of weeks, and we can figure something out. The plan we develop will include a small concrete slab to the left of the back porch and another larger one on the right. On the left one, we'll build an L-shaped counter that will house a sink and space for Ashley's existing grill. When it's time to start the heavy lifting, Alan and Bear join Ashley and I to clear out the old and make way for the new. So did you use the shower a lot?
Yeah, I realized after I put it up how exposed it was to the neighborhood. That first time I went to use it after cutting the grass one time, I think, turned around and looked and realized there was somebody standing on the porch of the clubhouse that had a really good view of the shower. So that didn't work out so well.
As we remove the temporary deck, I discovered that it's actually part of a recycled wheelchair ramp.
My parents are world-class scavengers, so when their buddy told them that these ramps are just going in the dumpster, Dad said, all right, I'll take them. This one turned into our temporary deck extension, and we actually used some of that same lumber to build the chairs that we have around the fireplace.
All right, Ashley, you knew you wouldn't make it through the day without one of those.
Yep, gonna have to do some digging to get this done.
So Alan's getting some of the sod up, and then we'll put the forms in all the way around there, but it's kind of a tricky little form that we have. It's like a double form, so that we'll have the room for this little brick roll lock. Sometimes people just pour a slab, and then they come back and then pour a little footing just for the brick, but we can pour it where it actually, the concrete, when it's poured tomorrow, will spill out under it and provide the support for that. We're probably just about at the right grade here, but we'll just have to dig a small trench there, and since you've decided to do the concrete over there, then we'll put the piece right in the front there as well.
All right. So is that specifically for sod?
It is. This tool that we're using, it's ergonomically correct for sod work, so I'm liking it. So we got the head for cutting, and then you got that angle, that ergonomic angle, that'll get you underneath and cut the root system so you can lift it up.
Who are you talking to?
Myself. Again. We got an issue over here. We got 2 sprinkler heads in these 2 corners. You want to cap them off, or I don't think you want to leave them open to water the slab.
Did he really have to ask that? We're pulling a chalk line along the edge of the existing slab
Come in some.
to make sure the outer edge of the new slabs line up with the old one.
That's it right there.
So Ashley, wouldn't you like to be doing this every day?
My dad's a carpenter and a painter, so I've done a little bit of that, worked with him.
Alan, we got a painter here.
All right.
Right.
Ashley's a painter. Score for me.
So your dad might be coming around scrutinizing things, checking things out.
Yep, make sure we're doing it right. He always gets it right too. He'll come back and tweak and adjust until it's just right. And then Mom will tell him that it's not right and he'll keep adjusting.
Every kitchen needs 3 types of lighting. Ambient lighting for the overall space, task lighting for counters and other work areas, and accent lighting. Here I'm going to show how to add accent lighting to a kitchen along the tops of some cabinets without having to call an electrician. I'm going to be using LED battery-powered lights. That's important. Get a set of battery-powered lights. This runs off of 3 AA batteries. It's 20 lights. They cost about $5, less than $5 for the entire strand. And if you look up here, you'll see I installed 1 strand earlier. For this string of cabinets, I'm going to put in 2 sets of lights. One's already in place, which I put along the wall. Then this set of lights, I'm going to put right behind the crown molding, which again is a nice, soft glow of lights along the whole run of cabinets. And all you need to do is click on the switch, and these are on a timer, a 6-hour timer. So if you put them on at 4 in the afternoon, they'll stay on until 10 o'clock at night and click themselves off and come back on the next afternoon. And what you end up with is a nice soft glow of light along the wall and over the top of the ceiling.
We're helping Ashley and Autumn add patio space to their backyard so we can create a great outdoor kitchen for them. It's a big job that'll take us 2 episodes to finish, but for now, we have the forms almost ready for pouring concrete. Okay, we should be good shape there if you just want to smooth that out and maybe clean the footing out just a little bit. Now these form boards may look a little different than most form boards you see, because here's what we're doing. We're pouring the concrete slab where it'll be right at this level. Then the concrete will spill out underneath the form board back over to this bank of dirt and actually will come up to this level here. So we'll have a nice little foundation or a nice little footing so that our brick roll lock that we have here will match just like it is on the house. It'll tie in right here and continue right on down the line. Should look great. As soon as the forms are complete, Alan begins digging some post holes for a small fence that will screen the air conditioners from the kitchen area. That could probably wait, but if the holes and posts are ready when the concrete arrives tomorrow, we can pour them at the same time. While I do some calculations to order just the right amount of concrete, Alan and Ashley get started building the cabinets that will make the patio into a kitchen.
Actually, we're going to take those brick right there and cut the faces off of them. So it becomes a faux brick that's covering the cabinetry.
That's gonna look great.
I think it's gonna look great. What was funny was before we got started, Danny looked at me and says, "You know, I've never done this before." I'm going, "You know, I haven't either." So it should be very interesting.
The interesting part is that between the treated wood frame they're building and the faux bricks Alan mentioned, there will be a layer of cement backer board. The bricks will stick to it with a layer of tile cement, so all of those layers have to be considered to get the dimensions just right.
I know that I've got 1.5 inches over there for this frame to this frame, so I got basically 21.5, right? This is a mathematician's dream come true, but my nightmare.
21.5 to there.
All right, and then I've got 1.25 inches on each side. That's our backer board, our brick, and our mastic.
Some pieces you had to work your way out and add layer upon layer.
So that's another 2.5. So 2.5 and 21.5, 24.
That's just a 24.
All right, my mind's about to explode. It's math that's the issue. And you know, anyone like Danny can take the shoes off and count with their toes, but we're talking fractions here. When you take fractions, no, it doesn't work.
By the end of the first day, the cabinets are almost complete. Early the next morning, the concrete truck arrives so we can begin pouring the 2 concrete slabs. Here at the start of the second day is the perfect time to start pouring all of our concrete. We have about 3 yards of concrete to pour, a little too much to try to get a lot of bags and mix it up. So we're lucky our friend Mike, who's a great concrete guy, not only is taking care of the concrete pouring for us, he also has this great machine that kind of, in a slang way, they call it a Georgia buggy or a powered wheelbarrow. So it's great for transporting everything without tearing up the yard.
It does the work for you. Carries half a yard of concrete every time, so it's quick. The concrete truck weighs 13 tons before you even put concrete in. A yard of concrete's 4,000 pounds approximately, and it does damage.
The advantage of having a pro-finished large concrete projects is those specialized tools, their skill and knowledge to deal with unplanned circumstances.
The concrete was thicker today because it's a small pour and we had a rain chance, and it didn't flow underneath the board quite the way, you know, it would normally. What we did was we just added to it and just packed it in, and the wire that's in the concrete was flowing underneath anyway, so it ties it all in real good.
So Mike, it looks like we're gonna probably be a little short of concrete here, just barely.
Maybe. We'll
We
see.
can always add a little bit around the
Yeah, it
footings
won't
and so
hurt
forth.
anything.
Are the forms working out all right?
They're working great.
Good, good.
Good job.
Little scary on the weather, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting hairy.
Especially with the valley being here and the valley being
Yeah,
over there.
it's
I mean,
nightmare.
we got the plastic ready, we've
Yeah.
got the props up there, and you've been there before,
Yeah,
haven't
that's right. That's part of the game.
you? So you're gonna a little bit of screeding off, and then you'll float it out, and then we're gonna try to match this as much as we can, right?
Okay, yeah. Put a nice little broom on it.
Perfect, perfect. Well,
Yep.
you know what you're doing.
All right, man.
Mike really does know what he's doing because he manages to stretch that concrete just enough to complete our pour. While he continues finishing the concrete, Alan and Bear are finishing up the cabinet frames. Ashley has taken apart some of the grill so that it will fit into the cabinets while Autumn gets it cleaned up.
I am really surprised at how dirty that grill is. It makes me wonder how often he's cleaned it.
All right, how's it going? Is it coming apart?
Yeah, it's coming apart. I think I can remember a little bit of how it went together.
well, good. Don't you think this is going to be kind of cool to be able to remove both sides? I think we're probably going to have to get those wheels off of there as well.
Okay.
And then be able to take that and slip it right in the cabinet right in there and have the granite cut around it.
Right.
No
That
one
looks
will
great.
know that it was once a freestanding barbecue grill.
It went together easy enough, but taking it back apart is a little bit different. Things that were meant to go into places and not come out now have to come out.
Yay!
Don't tell Danny I'm using his socket extension for a punch.
You know, I bet you would be hard-pressed to find anyone who would admit that they like pulling up weeds out of their lawn. It's back-breaking, it's time-consuming, but you gotta do it in order to have a beautiful yard. Well, what if I showed you a tool that would help make that process go a lot quicker and be less strain on your back? Take a look at this. This is the Ames Weeder, and it basically is a way to pull up weeds without having to bend over. What you do is when you stand it up, you just plunge the little metal blades down into the earth, and you just put your foot here to make sure it goes all the way down. When it's down in the ground, these blades will wrap around the weed roots so that when you pull it back up, it will pull the weed out of the ground, roots and all. Then all you have to do is push the plunger and it ejects the weed right there, so you don't even have to touch the weed. You can drop it down in your bucket and keep moving along. So, while weeding may not be your favorite project, this is definitely a tool that will make it go quicker, and it will definitely save your back.
Ashley and Autumn's outdoor kitchen is finally taking shape. The concrete has been poured for the porches, and while it dries, we're going to get started on the fence that will screen the area from the air conditioners nearby.
Danny was just bound and determined that we dig the post holes early. Now, when I say we dig, yeah, he's bound and determined I'm going to dig them early, and for a good cause. Because once the concrete gets here, we'll take the excess concrete and fill the post holes. Except we have no excess concrete. We use every drop of concrete in the two porches.
Well, Ashley, I thought for sure we would have enough concrete left over to do 2 lonely pitch posts.
Well, you got it close, but I think if this dirt had been over there, you might have got it right on.
We could have done that. If we'd have put that, yeah, we'll do that next time. Well, anyway, we have some fast setting concrete there that we can do it. Here, let me get you to split that
All right.
open. You can pour it directly in the hole. It'll set up in about 30 minutes, and that way we'll be ready to start building this a little bit later in the day while we're waiting on concrete to dry.
That's gonna be fast.
Yeah, man. To keep the work rolling while our concrete dries, our handyman Bear has started splitting the bricks we'll need to veneer the cabinets while Alan and Ashley build the doors for them. Because the fast-setting concrete dries so quickly, we're ready to build the fence in no time. So what I'm thinking is that if we let that be flush there, let this kind of stick out a little bit more, those fence boards turn, they'll tie right into here.
Okay, and how are you tying it into the brick here?
I would just let that 2x4 slide on past it like that. So 64, I guess 2 of them.
2 times 64, got it.
Building this short section of fence doesn't take much time either, but it does get us to the end of the day. The next morning, Autumn's a little anxious about how the concrete dried.
Last night we had the monsoon of the century. We put down some plastic and then also some wood pieces for the rain that was coming off the house. And I was really afraid with the concrete being so wet that it would damage the concrete. Oh, I'm nervous.
It's gonna be fine.
When I was putting the wood down, I accidentally got it with the corner of the wood piece, and I was really afraid there would be a dent in the concrete from my mistake. I didn't tell Ashley I did that.
Pretty hard when we covered it.
Yeah, but that rain was pretty rough.
All right.
Don't let it soak your feet.
Oh, yay!
Yep.
It survived. I am so glad that the plastic did its job, the wood did its job, there were no spots, and there was not a huge dent in the concrete from where I made my mistake with the piece of wood. Everything good?
Good finish.
Yay!
No giant holes.
Nope, no giant holes.
Now we can remove the forms to see how our brick ledge turned out.
The concrete looks amazing, and I'm excited to start working on that brick.
The brick mortar is a simple formula, 3 parts sand to 1 part mortar mix. Mixing that with the right amount of water is what takes time and apparently a bit of effort. You all right?
No.
Man,
Give me a turn.
better get the defibrillator out here. That's gonna be just right. Anytime you're mixing mortar, it's a great idea to do a slump test to make sure you have the right consistency.
Here's my slump test. That's a slump test I use. I'm tired.
With Alan, we're always doing a slump test.
He wasn't the one mixing the mortar. I was at the time, and that's very tiring.
So we let him sit down with a trowel in his hand. While Alan and Ashley and I start laying the brick mortar, Autumn volunteers to continue mixing mortar.
Autumn is like, how about if I mix mortar? Are you kidding me?
Autumn is not afraid to jump into something. Even if she doesn't have experience at it, she's ready to get in there and give it a shot.
Autumn, you mix all the mortar you want to.
It seemed like a hard job, but when I started working on it, it really wasn't that hard at all. I think I was really good at mixing that mortar.
She really was. And although Ashley wasn't too confident at first about laying bricks,
Yeah, I'd attempted once before to build a brick barbecue pit, and that didn't turn out so well.
he did a great job too once he got into it. While masonry is a physically demanding job, it also requires a lot of attention to detail.
Getting everything spaced just right, leveled out, just where you want it to match what was there on the existing patio. That was not easy. So it's definitely good that Dad was a carpenter, not a mason.
Ashley and Autumn have a beautiful house and a beautiful backyard, but the existing patio just wasn't enough for the outdoor kitchen they want to add. The 2 slabs we've added will solve that problem, and the brick mortar does a nice job of tying it all to the original construction.
It's definitely not something I would have tackled on my own without some expert guidance. The amount of space it opens up, having that extra concrete down, I'm really excited about that.
I'm really excited about the patio space and then having the extra space for the kitchen. I'm looking forward to seeing it all come together.
Once Ashley and Autumn complete the cleaning of the brick border that's just been laid, the outside surfaces will be complete. We've already made a big difference in how the family will be able to use their backyard, but wait until you see the very simple kitchen that we're about to build right in this area. We're going to use treated 2x4s, cement backer board, and split brick that matches the existing brick. We'll end up with a very functional kitchen using their existing grill and topping it all off with a nice granite countertop, and it'll look like it was built when the house was built 2 years ago. And I hope you'll tune in next week to see the completed project right here on Today's Homeowner. I'm Danny Lipford. We'll see you then. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to comment, like, and hit the bell icon so that we can notify you when new videos are posted.
And don't go anywhere, click around and continue the home improving fun.